Hey folks, Jim and Leila here for Geeking Out episode 181. Wow, we've been at this a long time.
Yeah.
We should really retire.
No way.
No? Okay.
Wasn't it like Hulk 181 was the first appearance of Wolverine?
I think so.
181. Yeah. Anyways.
Yes, we should have the first appearance of something on our show.
Yeah.
The first appearance of Mr. Phone!
Yes. There you go. Now you can reference that later on when we're at episode 350. We'll be like, remember at 181?
When Mr. Phone came in?
Yeah.
He was a smart-ass bastard.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
Anyway, let's get to some comic book reviews.
Yeah, I got a big one. This is Deadpool, number 50.
What?
All right. Yeah, I know, right? We're at number 50 already.
Wasn't it like minus 50 and then like plus 1? And
it's like Deadpool 1000 a while ago.
Yeah,
I don't know. Anyway.
I have no idea what's going on with that numbering system there.
Anyway, this is number 50 for the current volume that's going on. So, when evil Deadpool was killed by a dart that negated his healing factor, Wade Wilson knew he was finally close to his ultimate goal, and now Wade must figure out who tried to kill him and track down the serum. But why work this out on his own? He gets X-Force to help out while the Kingpin and Typhoid Mary race to find the key to negating the mutant factor and solidify Kingpin's empire. Okay, so this is a pretty great issue. I mean, other than the fact that it's all about Deadpool wanting to die and finding the serum that's ultimately going to let him do so, I'm not sure if I'm so cool with that.
I don't know. He's been a really overused character, so it might be time for him to go away for a while.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's maybe the sign of the times with, you know, all the people who have taken their own lives lately and everything. I just feel like, you know, this is maybe not cool to be talking about it in this way and sort of making it funny. But this is a good story full of action and smart-ass quips that we're used to from Deadpool, and the full-on crazy inner monologues, which, you know, is again, unique to Deadpool. And I do love the art by Barberi. It's just a kind of weird storyline for me. And you know they're not going to kill him, right?
No, of course not. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
If they do kill him, he'll be back in 3 months.
So,
Mark my words, 3 months.
So, but, you know, this is kind of interesting, and I do like all the characters that it's allowing to bring together, so that part of it is kind of cool. But again, you know, the whole subject matter is only okay for me.
Alright, next up we have Pandemonium, Volume 1. Now this one, after being knocked unconscious, Cypher wakes up in the royal palace and must pretend to be the missing prince. But can he fool the prince's siblings and fulfill his princely duties of diplomat, warrior, and lord defender of the realm? Yeah! This is really cliche.
Yeah.
I'll start off with the bad points on this book.
Okay, ending with the good. That's good.
Yeah. Alright, this one is really cliche. We've all seen the princess, or the pauper princess, the pauper prince. Yeah, it's another flip on that. You've seen it all before, but where this one differs is it's a demon realm, kind of. And the art, simply gorgeous. This one's first-timer Cassandra Diaz, I believe. And it's from a story by Chris Woodring, who did a lot of fantasy books.
Okay.
But overall, this is a gorgeous-looking book. It's just really cliche with the story, that's all. Some nice little romantic subplots in there, and a bunch of other stuff. So basically, he just replaces the missing prince, and has to go through the, you know, the role of being the prince. Of course, he doesn't fool anyone, really, and it comes down to him falling in love with another girl, though, as the prince, he's supposed to be engaged to another girl, so... Yeah, there's a lot of that, and that's, of course, also cliche, but...
Yeah.
Overall, it's a fun book. It's more or less okay for all ages. The art is simply gorgeous, and I can't really say anything too bad about it other than the cliche story.
Yeah.
But if you can look beyond that, you're going to have a great adventure with this one. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, next up we've got Venom 13.1. That is that Circle of Four Part 2. So last issue, Ghost Rider was tricked into powering Blackheart's portal to hell, but Johnny Blaze cast a protective barrier over Las Vegas to prevent it from spreading any further.
Well,
yeah.
anywhere that would be hell, it would be Vegas.
Yeah. So now Venom, Red Hulk, X-23, and
or New
Ghost
Jersey.
Rider. Oh, yeah. Yes. They must face the antitheses, which are hellish warriors representing their polar opposites.
Wow, we haven't seen that before.
No. And in some ways, they weren't really even opposites. It was kind of lame. I don't know. It was okay. And not much happens here. Like, we have a little bit of each of the four sort of squaring off against their antitheses, facing their fears and or failings. I do like the art by Garbutt in this one, at least for the most part. Most of the panels are just, really sharp and good looking, and I really like that. So, the art's not letting me down on this. It's just that I thought the story started out with a really big bang. We had a lot of pace, and then all of a sudden it ground way back to a halt in this one, and not much happened. And I don't know. It just kind of made me sad. And I know that they're doing one book every week to finish this thing off. But it looks like it could have been like a story that could have just been done, over 3 books or 4 books once a month.
So they're trying to stretch it out when it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't need to be, because ultimately nothing happened here. And by showing like something happening with all 4 of the different people and who they're fighting, you never really got a real taste of the flavor of any of them. So maybe you should have picked one and gone, each book dealt with each one. Maybe that would have been more interesting.
More interesting.
I don't know, but we'll have to see where the next book goes next week, because, I'm in for this much. I might as well review the whole thing. So.
May as well. You like torturing yourself, so
apparently.
I'm not going to stop you. Next up, we have the Ninjettes. And in this one, we find out the grim connection between college student Kelly Hara and the ice-cold murderer known as Varla, as they join forces to become the Ninjettes. Okay, this basically is from the pages of Jennifer Blood, so it features characters from that book. So if you're familiar with that book, you're probably going to enjoy this one. I could not get into this book at all.
Yeah.
When you have a pedophile on the first page trying to rape a kid, and then you have the pedophile sliced in half.
That might be cool.
Yeah, but then the Ninjette shoots the kid in the head. I'm like, what the hell did I just see here?
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're okay with that kind of stuff, then maybe read this, but it kind of just squicked me, and I'm like, no.
It's just trying to be shocking for shocking's sake.
I have to say that it is, but, the art is nice. It does have an interesting story, if not a little disturbing at points. But, it's an overall interesting take on these characters that are from the Jennifer Blood series, and I just can't get past the first 3 pages because it just kind of squicked me, and I did not like it, and stuff like that really has no place in this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
it wasn't for you.
It wasn't for me. It might be for you, so if you want to try something with a lot of ultra-violence and gore and ninjas killing stuff, this one's for you.
Okay, so this one, Conan the Barbarian, #1. So we've got a couple new Conan series starting up because we just wrapped a couple. So this series is going to adapt the classic Robert E. Howard tale, Queen of the Black Coast, which is a tale of passion and piracy. But this one's going to fill in the years that are sort of glossed over in the middle in his book.
The thing about Highline was that he did not write romance well.
Yeah.
He always glossed over it.
Yeah.
It would be like, and then Conan met a woman 5 years later.
So this story is going to, bring that up to adaptation to fans, but also, fill in with some new material, which, I'm stoked about. It could be good. So in this issue, Conan seeks refuge on a ship departing for Kush. Its captain, Tito, graciously takes him aboard upon hearing of his troubles in Messantia. And as they travel, Tito relates tidbits about this character called Belit, the Queen of the Black Coast, and who happens to also be the captain of the Tigress. And Conan is drawn to the woman who is described there and pushes towards their introduction. So again, this is just an interesting, Conan book. I really actually liked the art and the story in this one. Brian Wood is doing the writing, which I really, really like. He's done a great job here of reimagining Howard's work, and bringing it sort of into something that might be interesting for a modern audience, and also filling in some gaps. But what I'm not entirely in love with is the artist. That's the only thing
I just realized I said Heinlein instead of Howard.
That's okay. It's okay. We know
Heinlein also had a problem with writing romance.
But that's neither here nor there. Yes. So Becky Cloonan's doing the art in this one, and while it works for parts of Conan and for certain characters, and then sometimes it doesn't work for me. But if you haven't read Conan before, this is probably a really good place to jump on, because these are part of his early years. He's only in his 20s. I don't think that there's a whole bunch of backstory that you're going to need to know. I mean, and you've probably seen the movie and you get the gist, right? So, you know... Drive
my enemies before me, hear the lamentations of their women.
Yeah. You know, it's that stuff. But there's a lot of adventure in here, and, you know, there's going to be some romance, so I'm cool with that, and there's pirates, so it could be cool.
Next up, we have the final issue of Princeless, number 4. And in this one, Adrian and Bedelia escape the burning shop and head to the grasslands in the south, while Adrian's mother learns the truth about Adrian. Wow. As always, I love this book so much. It's such a great all-ages / fairy tale story. And the fact that the princess is the hero...
I like it.
And she's got a pet dragon.
I like it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it to death. It's simply fantastic. If you're not reading this book, do yourself a favor. Go out and buy it. Go get the trade paperback when it comes out in a month. And when the series continues, probably a little later this year with the next part, go out and buy it. Because I really loved this whole story. And it's just really great to see female characters in the lead doing such great things. And with female creators, always great to see. Simply fantastic. Loved it to death. You should really check it out. It's one of the best books on the shelf today.
Okay, so now we've got the viewer send-in that I promised you from last week. So this is more from our friends at Crystal Fractal Comics.
Yep.
This is Sleeping Giant. This is a one-shot. And so this is a version of The Legend of the Sleeping Giant. For those of you who don't know, it's an Aboriginal tale. But they put their own spin on it in this one. So I really liked it. It's got wonderful art. First off, I'll say that was awesome. And I really liked the story. I wasn't familiar with it, but it's really mesmerizing, and it was a cool piece of First Nations history, which is cool that they would, think to do that. I thought that was really cool. So if you're not familiar with the story, this is definitely something to check out. It's a nice, easy read and beautiful to look at. I thought it was executed very well. So kudos to the creators on this one. I thought it was a good job.
And last and certainly not least for me is How to Draw Steampunk by Rod Espinoza. And this one, basically just another how to draw book, but with steampunk. So if you're looking for a way to learn how to draw steampunk and all those gears and sprogs and all those Victorian dresses, Rod will help you through it. Simply gorgeous art. Great teaching ability from Rod here. If you're looking for something to reference for steampunk style, this is a great look at that style, and it's simply wonderful, and at about $15, so you can't really go wrong. Yeah. Simply wonderful book. Any artist would be well versed in picking this up if you're working on a steampunk book.
And last for me is something that's free in shops this week. It's a Vertigo...
Free?
Free! And it's not even free comic book day. I know, right? So this is a Vertigo preview for some stuff that's coming out this year. They sort of preview 4 different books. I'm just going to quickly take you through them. The first one's Dominique Laveau, Voodoo Child. And in this one... in the wake of Hurricane Katrina, the Voodoo Queen and most of her court have been murdered, and Dominique Laveau is suspect number 1. On the run, she's forced to deal with and try and reveal a destiny that she could never have imagined. So it does look kind of interesting. It's more of that, voodoo in the South kind of thing. But it does have a decent hook to it that's kind of different, and I think the art was really well done, at least for the limited amount that you see here. But you have to be into magic and mystery, I think, to really dig this one. So watch out for that if you are. The next one is The New Deadwardians. And in this one, it's a slow day at the office for Chief Inspector George Suttle as he investigates murders in an alternate history in England circa 1900, the alternate being that the upper classes have voluntarily chosen to become vampires to sort of escape the lower classes who are zombies.
All right.
Yeah. So I gotta say, Dan Abnett, writer, I think that is a possible awesome social commentary just sitting right there. Yeah. I'm not a fan of the art in this book, but I might be willing to give it a chance because of the story. But other than that, you know, I'm not sure. This is really hit or miss. I'm not sure. Also, then we've got Saucer Country. Yeah. So in that one, Arcadia Alvarado is a Mexican-American governor of New Mexico and must become the president of the United States to expose the truth and save the world. Yeah.
Okay.
So I like UFO lore, and I'm even cool with alien abduction, but political intrigue, I don't know if that's cool to mix with those two.
Abraham Lincoln was an alien. Yes.
Yeah, it just doesn't grab me. I don't know. It could be that it's just a preview.
He was an alien, and he was also a vampire slayer.
Yeah, I don't know. It's that one might be interesting, though. Have you seen the pictures online for that?
I've also seen the trailer. So.
I have the book, and I'm going to read it because I'm interested. But the last one that they put in here is probably the one that I'm looking forward to the most. It's called Fairest.
Looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. It's a monthly series that explores the secret histories of a dozen or more fabled women, like Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, Snow White. There's lots more. It's at least the first issue is by Bill Willingham and Phil Jimenez. The teams are going to change later, which I'm kind of sad about because the first one looks so amazing.
And Willingham is a really good writer when it comes to stuff like this. So,
yes, so like, you know, they're going to get it started and hopefully the new teams can keep it going after that, but it shows a lot of promise and I'm really looking forward to it. And just peeking on the back of this one, Jim and I were looking, on the back of the preview you can see they're going to do a Girl with the Dragon Tattoo graphic novel.
Yep. Which, by the way, is also going to be free on Free Comic Book Day. A free preview of it.
A free preview of it, yes. It's going to be written by Denise Mina with art by Leonardo Manco and Andrea Moody. Which the interesting part to me is that Lee Bermeo is doing the cover, and I was like, oh, I wish he'd done all the art. That would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been gorgeous.
But, you know, I'm still kind of looking forward to it, and so overall, like, you know, this is a really great preview, and, you know, put a little plug in there for Free Comic Book Day, which, you know, is closer than you think. Wow.
Yep, only 2 months away.
Yes.
We are so screwed.
You know.
But if you want to see us review any particular Free Comic Book Day books, please let us know, and we will do it, because, well, we love you.
The list is up already.
Yep.
So.
Though probably a few of them will change before release. So.
Yeah, we do know that there's at least one that will. Yeah.
Less said about that, the better, but not going to say.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for joining us. We will